Listening Comprehension. In this section of the test, you will have an opportunity to demonstrate your ability to understand conversation and talks in English. There are 3 parts to this section, and each part has special directions. All questions should be answered on the basis of what is stated or implied by the speakers. You will not be allowed to take notes or write in your test book when you take the actual TOEFL test. It will be helpful to work on this test the same way. Part A. Directions. In Part A, you will hear short conversations between 2 people. After each conversation, you will hear a question about the conversation. Neither the conversations nor the questions will be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your book and choose the best answer. Finally, find the number of the question on your answer sheet and shade in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Listen to an example. On the recording, you will hear,
"Boy, it's rough out there. I almost got into 3 accidents on a 15-minute drive."
"People seem to forget how to drive when it snows."
What does the man mean?
In your book, you will read, A. Forgetting how to drive causes accidents. B. The boy forgot how to drive and had an accident. C. Driving appears to get worse when it snows. D. The man needs to learn how to drive in the snow. You learn from the conversation that people tend to drive worse in the snow. The best answer to the question, "What does the man mean?" is C. Driving appears to get worse when it snows. Therefore, the correct choice is C.
Now we will begin Part A with the first conversation. Number 1.
I missed class this morning. Could you lend me your notes?
My notes? You've never seen my handwriting, have you?
What does the woman imply? Number 2.
Do you know when the next shuttle bus is leaving for the athletic center?
There's a schedule posted on the bulletin board in the student lounge.
What does the woman imply the man should do? Number 3.
I'm going to buy Joanne a blue sweater for her birthday.
Are you sure she'd like a blue one?
What does the man imply about Joanne? Number 4.
Wow, your apartment looks great. When did you have time to paint it?
I didn't. I had it done professionally.
What does the woman say about her apartment? Number 5.
The seminar scheduled for today has been canceled.
That's too bad, but at least the one for next week's still on.
What does the man mean? Number 6.
Frank is certainly in a good mood.
The bargain he got on his new stereo made him very happy.
What does the woman say about Frank? Number 7.
I'd like to inquire about some of the charges on my electric bill. I can't understand why it's so high this month.
I'd be happy to send you a more detailed explanation if you'll give me your account number.
What does the man mean? Number 8.
I'm going home early. Can you listen for my phone?
Sure. I'm planning to be here all day.
What does the man agree to do for the woman? Number 9.
You seem well prepared for the Spanish midterm. I'm impressed.
I'd better be. I've spent the last 48 hours cramming for it.
What has the man been doing? Number 10.
Would you mind opening that window? It's stuffy in here.
I'm afraid it's the kind that doesn't open.
What does the man mean? Number 11.
Mike said he was looking for a job in the bookstore.
But then, when he had a chance to work there, he turned it down, didn't he?
What can be inferred about Mike? Number 12.
Were you able to mail your letter?
The stamp machine only takes exact change.
What does the woman imply? Number 13.
You must have had half a dozen cups of coffee so far, and it's not even lunchtime.
I'm only on my 3rd, but 3's probably enough for one day.
What does the man imply? Number 14.
They're building a shopping center near my house.
Not another one.
What does the man imply? Number 15.
You're going to the play tonight, aren't you?
I have too much work to do for tomorrow.
What does the woman mean? Number 16.
Isn't that Kate? I thought you said she was in New York.
Oh, no. That's next week.
What does the woman imply? Number 17.
I don't know if I can make it to the graduation ceremony. Is attendance required?
At one time it was, but not anymore.
What does the man mean? Number 18.
Have you notified the housing office about fixing the faucet in the bathroom?
I got Alan to take care of it. He's really handy.
What does the woman mean? Number 19.
Guess what? I nominated you for class treasurer today.
Oh, no, you didn't.
What can be inferred about the man? Number 20.
Matthew certainly shows a lot of enthusiasm on the tennis court.
If only he'd show as much for his studies.
What does the woman imply about Matthew? Number 21.
Could you hold the painting against the wall while I take a look at it?
Where would you like it to go?
What can be inferred about the man? Number 22.
I can't believe I overslept. I'm lucky I made it to the breakfast meeting on time.
I can see you were in a hurry. You're wearing your sweater inside out.
What does the woman mean? Number 23.
Well, what did you think of the new doctor at the infirmary?
You mean Dr. Randolph? He was away attending a conference.
What does the man imply? Number 24.
Do you know anyone who has a spare bookshelf?
Have you checked with Marcia?
What does the woman suggest the man do? Number 25.
Where can I buy some typing paper?
How about the stationery place that just opened up?
What does the woman mean? Number 26.
Did you see the exhibit at the Arts Center?
I sure did, and I couldn't make heads or tails of it.
What does the woman say about the exhibit? Number 27.
You know so much about old movies. I'll bet you saw a lot when you were a kid.
Not as many as you might think.
What does the man mean? Number 28.
Our plane's been circling for a long time. Why the delay?
The airport was closed for a while this morning, and things still aren't back to normal.
What does the man mean? Number 29.
I've decided to take another semester of biology.
No kidding. I didn't know you'd even taken the introductory course.
What had the man assumed about the woman? Number 30.
Look at this postcard. Karen's in Miami.
Yeah, it's great she finally got some time off.
What does the man imply about Karen? This is the end of Part A.
Directions. In Part B, you will hear longer conversations. You will hear several questions after each conversation. Neither the conversations nor the questions will be repeated. After you hear the question, read the 4 possible answers in your book and choose the best answer. Finally, find the number of the question on your answer sheet and shade in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Remember, you should not take notes or write on your test pages.
Now we will begin Part B with the first conversation. Questions 31 through 34. Listen to a conversation about finding a new apartment.
Hey, I heard you're looking for a different apartment.
Yeah, the place I'm in now is a real dump.
It looked okay when I was there.
Oh, the boiler keeps breaking, and when it does, we lose the heat for several days at a time.
Why doesn't the owner replace it?
Well, she says it's cheaper to keep fixing it. She's a nice enough person, just sort of stingy. In any case, I'm sick of being cold.
Can you get your deposit back if you move?
If I give 2 months' notice, I can get the whole thing back.
So what kind of place are you looking for?
I think I'll try to get into one of those high-rises near the university. They're nothing really special, but at least they're new and functional.
I've heard that those buildings are pretty noisy. The walls are thin, and you can hear everything going on in the other apartments.
Oh, that'll never do. I need someplace quiet to finish my thesis. I guess I'll have to look at some more ads. Maybe new isn't necessarily better.
Why don't you try some of those apartments in Windsor? They're supposed to be nice.
Aren't they awfully expensive?
Not really. You'd be surprised at how reasonable some of them are. The problem with being out there is that the bus doesn't run out that way.
That'd definitely be a problem. I can't afford a car right now. I guess I'd better check a few places here in the city before I make a decision.
Number 31. What is wrong with the woman's current apartment? Number 32. What must the woman do to have her deposit returned? Number 33. What does the woman require of her next apartment? Number 34. Why might living in Windsor be a problem for the woman? Questions 35 through 38. Listen to a conversation between two students.
I'm thinking about transferring out of State College and into another school in the spring.
After only a year and a half? How come? I thought you liked it here.
I do, but our commercial art department only gives associate's degrees.
And you want a bachelor's, right?
Right.
So where do you want to go?
I've been thinking about Westwater University. It has an excellent reputation, but it's probably very selective.
But you've gotten good grades in the 3 semesters you've been here at State College, haven't you?
Yeah, mostly A's in my major, and a few B's in the sciences.
So what are you worried about? Just ask your art professors to write letters of recommendation for you and get your portfolio together, and you'll be set.
Number 35. What does the woman want to do? Number 36. What field is the woman interested in? Number 37. What concern does the woman have about Westwater University? Number 38. What does the man suggest the woman do? This is the end of Part B.
Part C. Directions. In Part C, you will hear several talks. You will hear some questions after each talk. Neither the talks nor the questions will be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your book and choose the best answer. Finally, find the number of the question on your answer sheet and shade in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Listen to an example.
Gene Kelly, singer, dancer, actor, and choreographer, died yesterday from complications resulting from a series of strokes. He was 83 years old. Kelly film career spanned over 3 decades. Thought his talent were many. Kelly will be remembered most for his dancing. He danced his way into our hearts through legendary movies such as Singing in the Rain and American in Paris. These, along with his many other films, will help keep Kelly's memory alive for decades to come.
Now listen to a sample question.
What does this talk concern?
In your book, you will read A. A movie promotion. B. An award ceremony. C. A dance studio advertisement. D. An obituary. The best answer to the question, what does this talk concern, is D. An obituary. Therefore, the correct choice is D. Now listen to another sample question.
What is Gene Kelly most remembered for?
In your book, you will read A. His choreography. B. His acting. C. His dancing. D. His legend. The best answer to this question, what is Gene Kelly most remembered for, is C. His dancing. Therefore, the correct choice is C. Remember, you should not take notes or write on your test pages.
Now we will begin Part C with the first talk. Questions 39 through 41. Listen to a university official talk to dormitory residents.
I'm Teresa Dunn, the housing director here at the university. I'm visiting all the dormitories this week to inform students about checkout procedures. I know you've got a lot on your minds with finals coming up, but there are a few things you need to be aware of as you prepare to leave for vacation. This dormitory will be closed during the summer months and will reopen on September 1st. Even if you're registered for summer classes, you must leave this dorm by June 3rd. If this is a problem for you, contact my office as soon as possible. Remember to turn in your room key before you leave. If you don't, you'll be fined $25. Also, make sure that all of your personal property has been cleared out of your room. I'll be passing out a form for you to fill out concerning the condition of your room. On this form, you should report anything that needs to be fixed. A drawer that doesn't open easily, a hole in the wall, things like that, so the maintenance crew will know where to make repairs before the next school year starts. If you have any questions, you can ask your resident advisors or call my office.
Number 39. What does the speaker mainly discuss? Number 40. Before they move out, what must the students do? Number 41. What should students indicate on the forms that are handed out? Questions 42 through 45. Listen to a talk given during a factory tour.
Now, before I show you the types of shipping containers that we're currently designing, I'd like to show you a few we've had problems with in the past. Take this steel drum here. See the crack in it? At low temperatures, most containers made of ordinary steel become brittle, and when they're brittle, they crack easily. This is quite a problem when you want to transport certain materials. Say, for example, liquefied natural gas. Now, you can't ship that in ordinary steel containers because it has to be stored at very low temperatures. So, in designing a container for this gas, we would specify some alloy, some combination of steel and another metal, that would have different properties from those of ordinary steel. One alloy we considered using was stainless steel because it resists cracking, but we found that some of its structural properties make it inferior to ordinary steel. Another problem with stainless steel is that it's alloyed with nickel, and nickel has to be imported, so there's an added cost there. Fortunately, a new, less expensive steel alloy is available, in which the element boron is used instead of nickel. Now, like stainless steel, this new alloy with the boron can withstand extreme chilling without becoming brittle. Because of this, and its cost, containers made of this alloy have become more and more common for shipping liquefied natural gas.
Number 42. What is the main topic of the talk? Number 43. According to the speaker, what frequently happens to ordinary steel at low temperatures? Number 44. According to the speaker, what is one of the disadvantages of stainless steel? Number 45. The speaker would recommend a steel alloy containing which element? Questions 46 through 50. Listen to part of a lecture given by a biology professor.
Now let me give you an example, a small example, of how difficult it is to control the effects of poisons once they enter the environment. A few years ago, 55 owls mysteriously died at the London Zoo. The zookeepers analyzed the dead owls and found that they had been poisoned by an insecticide, even though no insecticide had ever been used near them in the zoo. For a while, the zookeepers were puzzled, but they finally discovered what happened. The owls that died had been fed mice that had been raised in cages at the zoo. Now, in the cages, the mice slept on layers of sawdust. The sawdust had been purchased from a construction company that used a chemical to protect the wood from insects. The mice, you see, had absorbed this chemical through their skins, and when the owls ate the contaminated mice, the insecticide accumulated in the owls' bodies. Eventually, it reached toxic levels, and the owls died.
Number 46. What is the talk mainly about? Number 47. What did the construction company sell to the zoo? Number 48. What was the chemical originally intended to kill? Number 49. What happened to the owls? Number 50. What is the purpose of the speaker's story?